What's up, guys? It's Coach Jonathan here with you guys today. Here we're going to be working on a cool game that you guys are able to do inside. Actually, two games. With that being said, today what we're going to be working on is we're going to be working on having fun while you learn. So it's two different games that you probably don't really do on occasion. So kind of just making fun of it or having fun with it. If you have a sibling that you're at home with, you're able to play with, you could do it with them. If you're by yourself, I'll show you how you guys could do it by yourself, right? So kind of just having fun while you're enjoying something different. We're going to be working on using a putter, or if you don't have a putter, I'll show you what other alterations you can use. But kind of just where you're hitting it on whatever you're playing. So one game that we're going to get started with in a bit is similar to the game of pool. So if you don't hit it dead on the cue stick, what's going to happen to the ball, right? So we're going to be kind of looking into that. Healthy habit we're going to be touching on is family. So I kind of told you guys could play with your siblings. If you have your mom or dad at home that aren't busy working, you're able to kind of bring them into this game as well. Lastly, our life skill is going to be self-management. So when we're focusing on what part of the club face we're hitting the ball with, you're going to have to be able to be in control of yourself, right? So we're going to be touching on self-management. So if you follow me over here, I have a pack of disinfectant wipes. So before class started, I was able to already wipe down my hands as well as my club. And then I also was able to wipe down the other baseball bat that I was going to be showing you guys, but you guys could be playing with this as well if you don't have a club. All right? So the game that we're going to be playing is set up like as a game as pool. So I have my table right. If you don't have carpet, if you have a wood floor, you're able to put a rug down, put a piece of a blanket, just so the balls could slow down a little bit. But you can see how it's really similar to the game of pool, right? There's pockets at each corner and down the middle. But before we get into the actual game, we're going to get warmed up a little bit. Just real quick, the games aren't going to require too much physical activity, moving or running. So just going to get set with our body, getting our blood flowing. So we're going to start with trunk twisters. We'll go for 6 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go with arm circles going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have a warm-up that you like to do on your own, go ahead and drop it off in the comment section, and you're able to do that after we're done with my warm-ups. Next up, we're going to be working on flamingos, so stretching our quadricep muscle. So we'll do that for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we'll get into the game now. So I'll kind of show you what we got going on right here. So I had the luxury of having golf balls that are different colors. If you don't have golf balls, or say you only have white golf balls, you could use it as a project to stay inside. You could color the golf balls with marker and make them different colors. But if you see, really similar, instead of solids and stripes, I have whites and yellows. And then the cue ball is going to be right over there. It's a different color than all the other ones. And the 8 ball is going to be orange, right? So that orange ball is going to be the ball that has to be made last. So really similar to the game, the rules of pool. The only way I can make one into a hole is if I hit the cue ball first, right? So I'm going to be hitting the cue ball every single time, trying to hit another golf ball to go into a pocket. So I'll show you guys how that looks. So this is how you start. You have to break like this. So I'm going to set up. I'm trying to hit it on the center of the club face. Right? So they moved a little bit. If you're playing with a sibling, this is where your sibling would take a turn with you, or if you're playing with a parent, it would switch. It would be their turn. First person to make a ball, that's going to be their set. So let's see if I can get one into a hole. Alright, and the borders will help to keep the ball inside. You want to make sure you're doing this in a safe spot where the balls aren't going to be flying around. You want to have a good border to make sure the balls are going to be staying inside the playing field, alright? I missed them all.
Ooh, scratch.
So this is good that this happened. So if the cue ball is made, what's going to be happening next is the opponent would take the ball. I made it on this side of the playing field. They would have to set up on the opposite side of the playing field. So whatever side you make it in, it's going to be the opposite side. for the opponent, and then they would go, right? So let's see if I can get one in. Maybe again the opposite one. But this is where the opponent can kind of take advantage. So if you look at the playing field right now, this ball has the best chance of going in. So since I made it in this pocket, the opponent would be able to set their ball up anywhere they want on this side and try to aim and make sure they hit it in the sweet spot, which would be dead center of the clip face, right? So they're able to make it into that pocket. So let's see what happens. So I made it. Once you make it, you keep going until you miss, right? So I made a yellow colored golf ball, meaning that's going to be my colored golf ball that I have to make. So I have to make all of the yellows before I can try to make the orange. So let's see, I'll go one last time. Missed it by a hair. So then my opponent would pick that ball up and they would play it from this side, okay? So that's going to be a game that you're able to do inside. A couple things you would need are golf balls or any kind of ball, ping pong balls. You could play with, if you have enough basketballs or any kind of ball that you have at the house. You want to have a good sized border, right? So if I were to hit too hard, my border is able to keep the ball inside of that safety area that I'm playing at, right? So that's going to be the game. If you don't have a club, you could use a bat. So the bat's going to be a lot harder because the center of the bat, pretty much the only sweet spot it has is going to be really small. So it's going to make the game a little harder. Or if you want to get really into it, you could play just like a real game of pool. And you could go down low. You could play on a countertop if you like, and play it like that, right? So you could do that as well. Those are just different options. Okay, so if we get moving to this side, we'll show you the second game that's going on. So here I made kind of a replica style basketball court on a tabletop. If you have a nice sturdy tabletop, you wouldn't really want to play this game on a glass tabletop unless you have like ping pong balls like so, or soft squishy balls that have a good bounce to it. So I have inside just like a regular basketball court, right? So the point values, if I'm standing on this side going to this way, it would be 4 points if I make it from my side over. So if I'm shooting this way, my ball hits this side of the table and goes into the basket, that's 4 points. If I make it past the half court line, but over the 3-point line, that's a 3-pointer just like normal basketball. Inside here is 2 points, but the only difference is by the free throw area and in the key, the paint area right here, it's going to be 1 point, right? If you have a partner, you can play with the partner. If you don't, then you can kind of just go back and forth and keep going until you find out the winner. First one to 11 would win. So it would look like this. There's a couple different options that you could do it. I could bounce it, right? So that would be 4 points. I could throw it. If you're doing a throwing version, you and the person you're playing with are going to have to determine a point value because you're not going to be hitting a specific part of the table. Or if you have like a little bracket right here, you could do the same point value, but now you're going to increase the difficulty, right? On here. So I hit it a little too hard. On that, I'll try it again. A little too short, right? So that's something you're able to do. All I did was use tape. So I was able to tape off a set into a basketball court, right? So that's something you're able to do if you're kind of focusing on it, on trying something new. So the whole lesson for today was trying something new and having fun while you're doing it, right? So the key for this is understanding that if I'm trying to hit it with the racket, the game's going to be a lot more difficult. The golf skill where we're practicing hitting it in the sweet spot of the club face is going to be a lot more difficult. But what happens is when you're trying something more challenging, it's going to tend to be more fun, right? Kind of think about something that you've done and that was way too easy, a sport or any school subject, and see if it caught your interest. Things that usually catch your interest are usually things that are a little bit more difficult. So kind of having fun while you're learning those difficult things is going to be what you're going to be wanting to work on, okay? So if we put this down, we'll go over here. I kind of want to talk about the family aspect, right? So right now, we're in a situation where we're all sheltered at home with our loved ones. So if you're at home thinking about games like this that you're able to play with them, if you have games that you're already doing with them, go ahead and drop it off in the comment section. Let us know, and maybe we could put it featured on our Facebook Live, right? So family's going to be really huge. You're spending a lot of time with them right now. Your parents might be home a lot more often. So kind of trying to keep the family engaged, keeping them busy. A lot of kids have school still, so having that balance of school. Some teachers are still giving their recess time to their students, even though all classes are online. So having family time during that recess time, during games, through games like this, right? Going outside maybe and setting this up outside on the grass, setting that up outside on the backyard patio table, things like that, getting some fresh air. So the last thing I'll touch on is going to be self-management. So through that first game, I was seeing that I had to really control myself to not hit it too hard because I didn't want to go too far. But you kind of have to test the game, right? So the balls weren't reacting how I thought it would be. So I had to kind of adjust my swing to it. So my club phase, I was focusing on hitting it on the sweet spot, trying to get it to react, but I wasn't reacting to how I wanted it to, right? So I had to kind of take a step back and kind of think about what I had to do to manage myself to hit it in the sweet spot and have the balls react that I was hitting to, all right? So that's it for today. We're kind of reiterate that we were having fun while we learned. If you found these games interesting, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the like section. Other than that, you'll be here tomorrow at 4 o'clock with the next coach for the day.